Ladies, you'll all be thrilled to know that I am going to be around for a long time yet. It didn't work, ladies. You're going to have to try a hell of a lot harder than that to beat me at my game.
You got the dope?
Yep.
And they sent the papers you need?
Yeah, they must have already had some in stock. I hope no one's going to try and do me out of business before I've even started. And I've been a busy girl today. What do you think?
Brenda, this is brilliant.
Yeah, no more cold cash for dope, my love. We'll just stamp out licenses in exchange.
What I wouldn't give to have a talent like this.
Oh, you will be. And all donations will be gratefully received.
I think we have some business to discuss, Miss Ferguson.
I doubt that very much.
Oh, I think you'll be very interested. It's a little matter of security. An investment for the future, if you like. What do you say? You've been a very busy lady, Miss Ferguson. Not exactly what the Department of Corrective Services had in mind, eh?
Look, why don't you just name your price and let's get this over with?
Well, let's see. What price would you put on your career, Miss Ferguson? 40,000? 50?
You're out of your mind.
Not me, lady. I think cool and straight. I'm a reasonable man. Let's not be greedy. $10,000, and you can have this little number as a souvenir for your glory box. You get the tape when I get the money.
It's to stop you making copies and bleeding me dry for the rest of my life.
Not a thing. You're just going to have to trust me, aren't you?
You don't leave me much choice, do you?
That's right.
Well, you'd have to give me time. I haven't got that sort of money. I have to raise it somehow.
There's no hurry. Just so long as I get 10,000 in 48 hours.
Well, I reckon my bones will be bleached white in their grave and that bloody freak will still be striding around like some rotten bloody Nazi.
It's not Minnie's fault, Lizzie. If Mrs. Reynolds and the whole department can't do anything, well, what hope have we got?
None at all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Not unless we all stick together and come up with something that'll fix her for good.
Look, I know how you feel, dear, but you mustn't let her upset you. She can be dealt with. She's only human.
Pig's ass she is. She's like some bloody mangy tomcat. She's got 9 lives, hasn't she, Jude?
Yeah. She got out of more scrapes than Houdini. Bee nearly went crazy trying to get rid of her.
That's right. You had a bloody good try, Min, but where did that get you?
And that doesn't mean I'm going to give up to you.
Well, you're wasting your time. You can't get rid of her. She's like the plague. There's no cure.
Of course there is. We just haven't hit on the right plan yet.
And we never bloody well will. We don't stop pussyfooting around and get stuck into it. What do you reckon, Pix?
Oh, definitely, Lizzie. I think she's a dreadful woman. I don't know why they let her stay.
Well, we will do something about her, Lizzie, but only after we've thought it through very carefully. It's no use rushing into things willy-nilly.
Oh,
Okay, so we all agree. Someone set me up. But it doesn't make sense. I don't know anyone who hates me enough to do something like this.
Everyone's got enemies, Paul.
I think Ted Douglas has probably crossed you off his Christmas list by now.
And remember what those thugs did to me.
Right. Fellow's wanted those pictures pretty badly. Hell, he's probably involved in the whole porno racket himself.
Up to his armpits, I'd say.
Yeah, but why bother? I mean, that was months ago. I'm such a small fish.
All the more reason to teach you a lesson.
It's a bit of a worry.
That's why you need a good solicitor. Have you rung Mr. Robinson yet?
Not exactly.
What?
He's so old, Mum. But I have called a solicitor. A mate of mine gave me the name of a top-notch firm. I've got an appointment tomorrow. Mind you, I could get dropped like a hotcake when they find I've got Mr. Big of the Underworld on my back.
Paul, this could be just the beginning, you know. If Fellows has got it in for you, there's no telling what he'll try next.
Let's not start crossing bridges. Look, why don't you stay here for the night? Your room's all ready for you.
Thanks, Mum, but I better make a move. I've got 2 rolls to develop up before tomorrow morning. There's a guy coming in for some proofs.
All right, but give me a call tomorrow and let me know what's happening.
Okay. Good night, Mum.
Good night.
See you all.
See you later.
I'm not staying for coffee?
Oh, no, I'll take a rain check if you don't mind.
All right.
I've got to go to court tomorrow for Judy, you know. Want my wits about me, you know. Hate to let her down.
Of course.
See you tomorrow. I'll let myself out.
No. Got time for a little chat? I've got a deal for you. Forget it, I've had a gutful. But if you want to make easy money, you've got to be prepared to take the risks, you know that?
It's not the risks I mind taking. It's the bashings I'm sick to death of. The money you give me as a cut won't even pay for a decent funeral if Parker or Fergo get their hands on me again.
I don't think Parker's after your blood. As for Ferguson, well, there are ways with which we can deal with her.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just slap her on the wrist and tell her to lay off. Look, I've got parole coming up soon and I'm not going to risk it.
All right. I just thought you'd like to make some easy money, especially as you're about to go out. But if you're not interested...
Well, hang on. How much are you offering?
20 now, plus a cut in the profits.
Yeah, big bickies. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were going into the dope business.
Well, aren't you a clever little secretary?
You mean you are? You must be off your head. Ferguson will never stand for that. Nola Mackenzie tried...
Ferguson won't give you any trouble, and if she does make any noises, just send it to me.
Oh, you're a cool bitch, aren't you? You really reckon you can handle the freak?
Of course. I've got a gilt-edged insurance policy. Well, are you in or not?
Okay. I'm in.
Didn't sleep a wink at all last night worrying about what a dumb klutz I'd been in court yesterday, shooting my big mouth off like that.
Come on now. Today's a whole new ball game.
Do you think we can really make up for lost ground?
That depends largely on you. When I put you on the stand, I want you to give the jury the full story. No frills, no outbursts, just simple honesty.
Yeah, but the prosecution are
Well,
gonna...
they'll do everything they can to make you look bad. If they can push you into losing your temper, that gains them more points than a solid piece of evidence. And don't argue with them, no matter what. Leave that to me. It's my job. All right?
Okay. I'll keep my big mouth shut unless I got something useful to say.
That's the ticket. Well, I must fly. Keeping his honor waiting wouldn't exactly do wonders for us. Come on now. Chin up. Yesterday we lost a battle. Today we'll win the war.
Yeah, see you in court.
Small first mortgage, and let me see. Liability, income. You're certainly not a spendthrift, Miss Ferguson.
I live within my means.
Quite. Well, everything seems to be in order here. You want to borrow how much?
$10,000.
Yes, I see. Well, I would suggest a second mortgage is probably the best course. Although we might, given your record with us, push through a personal loan to that limit. Be less interest.
How long will it take to get the money?
Well, we're rather noted for getting things moving, you know. I think I could guarantee you settlement in, shall we say, a week.
A week? I need that money today. Tomorrow at the latest. Look, I've got a cheque account. Can't I just have an overdraft?
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Ferguson. A $10,000 overdraft's out of the question.
Well, I've got to have that money immediately.
In that case, all I can suggest is you contact one of the finance companies. They do work a lot faster, but of course you'll pay much higher interest rates.
Thanks.
Not at all. Only too happy to help our customers.
Now they won't even let us get on with our work without some bugger sticking their nose in. Why did Po-Face have to send Casser off the kitchen? It's dangerous enough having to eat the tucker as it is.
Oh, stop whinging, Lizzie. Cass'll be all right. A change is as good as a rest anyway.
You missed your calling, Donovan. You should be writing mottos for Christmas crackers.
You certainly missed yours, dear. I'm quite sure your disposition could curdle milk.
Bloody Phyllis has taken the skip. That's my job. Why she has to go up and take my
give it
skip?
a rest, Lizzie. Where's Mary? She's meant to be in here with us, isn't she?
She is. I heard Po-Face call her name after Muster. Bloody wonderful. 2 days out of hospital and they send her back to work. Certainly want their pound of flesh.
Yes, dear. Well, someone must have seen her. She's got to be around somewhere.
Well, she was talking to Mr. Bridges after muster, but that was ages ago.
She's probably found some nice warm place to curl up in. And Mr. Bridges wouldn't give her away. He's a real gentleman. Where do you think you're off to? There won't be anybody left in here soon.
I'm going to the toilet, if that's all right with you.
Yeah. I hope you get caught in it and drown in the S-Bend.
Oh, Lizzie, that's terrible.
Well, I can't help it. She gets on my goat. Talking of which, I thought you said you were going to do something about the freak men.
Oh, give me a chance, dear.
Well, I reckon they'll all be in it. Even Mary and Frances hate her guts now, and I reckon she's the reason why Casa beat them up. There won't be anyone to argue against it.
Except one.
Who?
Sonia. And she mustn't get to know about this, or she'd go straight to the freak.
She'd lag on all of us. Do you really think so?
She'd sell her own grandmother, dear.
Probably already has.
Good morning.
Ah, Paul Reynolds.
That's right.
I'm Samantha Russell. Pleased to meet you.
Likewise. Now, let me see. A wedding? No, passport photos. I've got a 15-minute service. 4 prints for $9.
I already have my passport. I think we're at cross purposes. I'm Sam Russell.
The solicitor. Oh, hell, I'm sorry. Well, Robbo didn't tell me you're a female. He just said you're a crash-hot lawyer. I'm not late for my appointment, am I?
Oh, no, I'm early. I thought I'd save you a trip into the city. Actually, I prefer to meet my clients on their territory. Well, they become a bit formal as soon as they take in the legal atmosphere in our offices. And, formal's a pain in the bum, agreed?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not exactly what you pictured as a crash-hot lawyer, am I?
Well, something like that.
Well, don't worry, Paul. Even the stuffiest of my colleagues concedes I know my job. Now, is there somewhere that we can sit down and discuss these charges?
Sure, we're just over here.
All right, Stevens. Now, what the hell are you up to this time?
Now, look, this is a business venture. That's not going to cause you any hassles.
No hassles, eh? You know what happens to blackmailers? They either spend years inside or they're found with their heads smashed in.
Blackmail?
You're playing a dangerous game, lady, and you picked the wrong one to play it with. Oh, yes, I'll pay that money, all right, because I've got no other choice. But don't you ever count on spending a cent of it. Now, get to the laundry.
Let's discuss this. You want the tape back?
Oh, don't you worry. I'll get it back. But your little friend had better not count on making any copies of it. Because if I don't get him, Stevens, I'll kill you. And that is a promise.
And Miss Bryant then told you that Hazel Kent had asked her to kill her.
Yes, that's right.
Objection! Your Honour, the defence is trying to introduce hearsay evidence.
Objection sustained. You know better than that, Mr. Goldsmith.
I apologize, Your Honor, and withdraw the question.
The jury is instructed to disregard the witness's answer, which will be struck from the record. You may proceed, Mr. Goldsmith.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Wallace, can you tell us Judy Bryant's attitude to this situation, her mental state?
Yes, I can.
Objection! Your Honour, this calls for an unqualified opinion from the witness.
Your Honor, the defendant's state of mind is integral to my case. I must do my duty to my client. And Mr. Wallace is qualified by reason of his association with the defendant.
Objection overruled. You may answer the question.
Mr. Wallace?
She was being torn apart. She did everything she could for Hazel. She put herself on the rack, mentally and physically. But the only thing Hazel wanted was to die. And Judy agonized about that. All she wanted to do was to save Hazel from further pain.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. No further questions.
One moment, please, Mr. Wallace.
I'm sorry?
I have only one question. Is it not a fact that Judy Bryant admitted administering a fatal dose of morphine to Hazel Kent on the night in question?
Well, yes, but, I mean,
No further questions, Your Honour.
The witness is excused. You may call your next witness, Mr. Goldsmith.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is only one person who can tell us exactly what happened in this case. I call the defendant, Judy Bryant.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Your name is Judith May Bryant?
Yes, that's right.
And your address is 46 Balmain Street, Wentworth?
Yes.
And you run Driscoll House and you are careers advisor for Wentworth Detention Centre?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, Miss Bryant, I want you to tell the court, in your own words, of the events leading up to Hazel Kent's death.
Okay. Hazel was, well, she was the sort of person that never had a decent break in her life. Her husband dumped her and she lost custody of her kids. Then she started hitting the bottle. She was drinking so much.
This is irrelevant, Your Honour.
Agreed, Mr. Goldsmith?
Yes, Your Honour. Miss Bryant, just tell us what happened after you found out that Hazel Kent was ill.
Okay. I'm sorry. When Hazel told me, I didn't know what to say. I felt so sad and so sorry for her. But for a while in the beginning, she had good days. I mean, there were some days when we'd even forget about it. We'd just go about as normal friends would, you know. And then, well, the pain got really bad.
What happened then?
Hazel went blind. That was awful. She was in pain all of the time. The only thing that I could do for her was sit with her, but I felt so useless. You see, she knew. We both knew that there was no hope. I don't think that you can understand what it's like unless you've actually seen someone you care about die in front of your very eyes. Anyway, I knew what she's going to ask me. I dreaded that because I knew I'd have to say no. And I did say no. Well, it was like I hit her. She kept asking. She begged me. The pain was so bad. She couldn't eat. She couldn't sleep. She only wanted to die. Now I had to do something. I was the only person that could help her. I couldn't bear to see her suffer anymore. And when I gave her the pills, she thanked me. Hazel thanked me.
No further questions?
Put all the dirty tea towels in with the sheets. I'd never do that.
Oh, so what? It's all got to be washed.
Oh, don't start squabbling again, you two.
And Donovan, you've got a visitor.
Oh, that's well, Miss Purvis.
Be nice if the rest of you did a bit of work before lunch. Where's Adler?
In the dunny.
I can't hear if you both gabble at once.
In the dunny, Miss Ferguson. You just missed her.
All right. The rest of you put a bit of elbow grease into it. Well,
Silly little buggy, you nearly got us all into strife.
Well, I'm sorry, Lizzie.
Where is Mary, anyhow?
You should know. Haven't you seen her?
Me? Listen, I've been all through this stuff. The rec room, the cells, the hospital. I tell you, she's not in any of them.
Oh, the poor thing. She's probably pining somewhere. All the time she was in hospital, Alfie didn't write to her once. Well, she thinks he's found somebody else.
Alfie? Who's Alfie?
Her boyfriend, Lizzie. Oh, goodness, everybody knows that.
Well, I didn't.
Hey, that's it. She's nicked off to get old Alfie back on side.
Oh, how romantic. She's gone over the wall for the man she loves.
It's only joking, Pixie.
How do we know? You said yourself you hadn't seen her anywhere on the inside. Maybe she is trying to get away. In that case, we've got to keep the screws off her tail for a while. Give her a bit of a fair go.
Yeah. OK, Lizzie, if you're so sure, how about putting your money where your mouth is? I'll give you 5 to 1 odds on her getting out.
Right. Done. $2.
Right. And while we're at it, I'll give you 10 to 1 that Jude can't beat the rap. Any takers?
You don't bet on her, mate. Jude's one of our mates, in case you've forgotten.
So's Mary. What's the difference where money's concerned?
If I was 20 years younger, I'd tell you the difference with the flat of my hand. I'm just glad Jude isn't here to find out who her mates are.
And isn't it a fact that Hazel Kent's presence at the halfway house caused dissension among the other residents?
No, not exactly.
So
They were
much so
upset-
it could have cost you your livelihood.
Oh, that's bull. I earn a wage. Driscoll's not a boarding house.
Just answer the questions, Miss Bryant.
Well, I'm trying to, but you won't let me finish.
You say Hazel Kent begged you to kill her.
Yeah, that's right.
I must ask you to speak up, Miss Bryant. The jury cannot hear answers.
I said yes.
And yet the Crown has expert testimony to prove that a patient with advanced cerebral glioma could not possibly make a rational decision.
Listen, what are you trying to do to me? She begged me to kill her.
Did she, Miss Bryant? Or did you simply get tired of playing nursemaid to a dying woman?
That's not fair.
Your Honour, I object. Counsel is badgering the witness.
Objection sustained. Counsel will confine himself to questioning, not speculation.
Yes, Your Honour. Now, Miss Bryant, please answer the question, yes or no. Is it not true you wanted to see Hazel Kent dead?
Yes, but you can't
Thank you. That'll be all.
Wait a minute. I've been here killing her, but you can't do
Overruled. No more questions, Your Honour.
That workshop's like a sauna. Still got the plates done.
You're a double-crossing bitch, Brenda. What did you think Ferguson was going to do to me?
Steady on. What's the problem anyway?
Don't try and be clever with me, Brenda. You haven't got the talent for it. So the tape was destroyed, was it?
Yeah.
You're lying. You're blackmailing Ferguson with it. Only she thinks I'm behind it and she's ready to break my neck.
Okay. I just saw a way to make some decent bread, that's all. I know I should have cut you in, but I didn't know how you'd take it.
Then you can cut me in now. If my neck's going to be broken, I want to be paid for
Nobody's going to get hurt. Don's a professional. He can handle Ferguson. She's chicken feed compared to some of his hits.
And how much is chicken feed?
5,000.
5. All right, I'll take half and you and your partner can split the rest.
Look, it's your tape, but...
No buts.
Look, this is just the beginning. You and I have got a good thing going here. Let's not cruel it. We can make a small fortune on the drug trade, and fellows will help us keep Ferguson in line.
Forget the snow job, Brenda. Just make sure I get paid.
Okay.
I went down and bailed him out, Auntie Min. It doesn't look good.
Doesn't make sense, Terry. I trained young Billy myself. He's a master at the game. How did the police get onto him?
Well, a mate of mine in the force told me they checked Billy out as a result of a tip-off.
A stoolie? Not one of my babies.
No. Now, I couldn't get a name, but he did say the tip came from a prison officer. That was enough to start them checking, and it didn't take them too long to discover enough evidence to bust him.
Ferguson, it has to be. She wanted to get back at me. She remembered Billy from the time he smuggled the booze in.
I've met her in reception. She's a pretty heavy piece of work. Now, you better be careful.
Never mind me. Now, you go and look in my blue casserole dish in the saucepan cupboard. There's about $3,000 in cash. Use it for Billy's defence. I don't want you touching the accounts. They could be traced.
What are you going to do?
Never you mind about me, young man. I'm going to take care of Ferguson, and it's long overdue.
You're not mad at me, are you, Min?
Oh, no, of course not, dear. Why?
Oh, well, you've been real quiet ever since you tasted that meatloaf. Mrs. O'Regan reckons I can't cook for nuts, but I thought it was pretty tasty myself. Anyway, they're putting me back in the laundry, Min. Mrs. O'Regan reckons I get under her feet.
Oh, I think it was perfectly lovely, Lizzie, getting a surprise visit from her son. I wish I had a son to visit me. Except, well, he'd be too small to come on his own. He'd have to get his mother to bring him. Oh, did you hear what I just said?
Knock it off, will you? You're giving me heartburn.
Oh, heavens, all I said was... Randy!
Oh, there you are, good love. At least one person's pleased to see you.
Well, what are you doing here?
Well, I didn't come in for a suntan. Oh, God, 3 more weeks in this dump.
Oh, well, then you didn't get a nice man to marry you? Oh, Randy, how tragic. I'm so sorry. But still, there are a lot of nice new people here for you to meet. Minnie and Cass, this is Randy.
G'day. Pleased to meet you, dear. From what Pix tells me, I didn't think you'd be back.
Neither did I. I still owe someone for that. And as for that bitch Ferguson...
Now, don't you worry about Ferguson. We're all sick and tired of it. Now, everyone, I want you all in the rec room tonight. We're going to have a round table conference to decide what to do about Ferguson.
Hey, Minnie, if you're taking on the freak, I want in on it.
Oh?
Well, I'm not going to tell her or anything. I did her dirty work because she forced me to. All I got for it was a week in the bloody hospital.
Yeah, well, you know I'm real sorry about that, don't you, Francis?
Yeah, it's all right. I've got nothing against you, Cass. No, you don't know.
All right, Francis. But if you even look like double-crossing me, I'm sure Cass will be able to get some sense into you.
Yeah, sure, Min.
Funny fags, eh? Is there anything you're not into, Mitchell?
I wasn't doing nothing. It's just a joint for me unused.
Give it here.
What are you going to do?
That depends. Where did you get it?
Don't you know, Miss Ferguson? Thought you ran all the rackets round here.
It's the big fish I'm after, Mitchell. And I think I know where to find them. So if I were you, I wouldn't go buying any more of that stuff. Because you could be eating hospital food again, if you can still chew. Just remember, Mitchell, I don't go along with drugs in my prison.
I don't know why they had to search me chocolates. I don't reckon Arthur would have smuggled a file in among me soft centres, do you?
No, of course not. You know, I'm really happy for you, Lizzie. I don't like the thought of you cooped up in here.
My Arthur's got a really soft heart. Bet you look after your mum, too.
Yeah, we were pretty close. Would you like to see a photo?
Oh, yeah?
There we are.
Oh, she's lovely.
She was a saint, Lizzie.
Hey, Lizzie, guess who's back? Little Miss Uppers.
Who? Who the hell's little Miss Uppers?
I don't know, Lizzie, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Yes, right. Oh, g'day, Randy. Come in for a bit of a rest, have you, love?
Hi, Lizzie. The scenery has certainly improved around here.
Yeah. This is Mr. Bridges, our new officer.
Hello, Randy. I'm sure we'll see a lot of each other.
I certainly hope so, Mr. Bridges.
All right, come on, Lizzie. Well, here we are, an escort all the way home.
Thank you.
Oh, Chockies, how divine. I just adore caramel twirls.
I think you're overdoing it, Mr. B. You look a little peaky. Not on duty again tonight, are you?
Afraid so, Minnie. Miss Ferguson and myself are on the graveyard shift. But don't worry, I'll sleep in on my day off.
Well, you see that you do. A man needs his rest.
All right, now back to work, ladies.
And none of you buggers touch my soft centres until you're asked.
Hello, Hunt. Off for a spot of garden duty, are you?
Gardening? No,
I'm talking about grass, Hunt. You do know the word, don't you? Well, wonder how these got in here.
I don't know, Miss Ferguson, honest.
You expect me to believe that, do you, Hunt? Well, you'd better tell me where they came from. Otherwise, that parole hearing of yours will go up in more smoke than these little packets. In fact, I'll see to it that you never get out of here at all.
I didn't bring it in, Miss Ferguson. Sonia paid me to distribute it for her. Well, she told me to tell you to see her if you had any gripes.
Did she now? Right, Hunt. Get moving. And Hunt, keep your mouth shut.
Oh, thank heavens, it'll soon be over. I don't think Judy can take much more.
So tomorrow's the summing up?
Yeah, then the jury out and we wait.
Poor Bryant.
What's this? A union meeting?
No, I think it's a tea break.
Good. Hate to think I was missing out on something. At least you got a change of scenery today. It's been a laugh a minute around this place. Oh, except for Goodlove. She wasn't amused.
Randy Goodlove?
None other. Lucky us, eh?
Sorry about that, Mrs. Morris. I'm so clumsy.
All right, Randy. I think I owe you that one, so let's forget it. But let's draw the line here and now. I am an officer and you are a prisoner. Now, I won't treat you any differently to any of the other women. But in return, I expect you to treat this uniform with some respect. Understand?
As long as it's under uniform, we're talking.
It's not the time or the place for personal differences. If
If you expect me to forget what you did to me, you're crazy. I promised I'd make you pay, and I keep my promises.
Hey, Mrs. M, would you like a choc? Just leave the strawberry creams for me.
Not now, thank you, Lizzie.
What have you got there, Randy? It's really pretty.
Pretty and expensive.
Good. Where'd you get that? Rob a bank on your way in.
I just smuggled it past the screws. I wish I'd known how easy it was. I could have made my stay much more comfortable.
Is it real?
Of course it's real. I don't wear junk.
I'd keep it well hidden if I were you, dear. There's more to worry about around here than the screws.
Minnie, is it true you're having a meeting to get rid of the freak?
Who told you, Francis?
Look, I've got a right to be there too.
I don't think so, Phyllis. You can't play on both teams.
Well, that rotten bitch is all set to stuff up me parole. Look, I want to get it just as bad as the rest of you.
Yeah, me too. I haven't forgotten the bashing I took.
Well, all right, but no nonsense, Phyllis. As for you, miss, I think we'll help you to stay on the right side. Cass, take her Walkman.
Oh, but I wouldn't go to the freak.
I know, dear, but you might be tempted to tell your friend Sonia.
Now, come on, Bobby. Now, don't want any more trouble out of you. I'll take good care of it.
You'd better.
All right. We'll meet here straight after tea. Agreed?
Yeah.
Good.
Dinner is served, ladies.
Oh, such a cavalier.
Now, none of your nonsense, dear.
Mr. B, I don't reckon Mary's up to coming into tea. She was feeling really crook before. Be all right if I went in to try and cheer her up?
Well, if you think you can really help her, Lizzie, you go ahead. At least everyone will know you've seen her, won't they?
Is there any reason why I shouldn't see her?
No, I can't think of a single one. Can you?
You're really bucking for trouble, aren't you, Stevens? You know I told you no dope in here.
That's when you were calling the shots. Things have changed.
And they're going to change drastically unless you call this whole thing off. It's too risky and I'm not putting my job at stake.
But you already have. Oh, don't tell me you've forgotten the tape already. Don't try it. You're not even safe on the outside, Miss Ferguson. I've got friends. They're not very nice people, but they have their uses. And you'd be surprised how quickly I can contact them.
You think you've got the whole thing sewn up, don't you, Stevens? Well, it's not over yet.
Looks like you got the old bulldog snapping at your heels.
Don't let it worry you. The bark's worse than the bite, but just the same.
Yeah, well, maybe it's time we got Fellow's help to put her on a chain. As soon as we get the money from her.
Exactly.
Oh, but she's been here for ages now. She has to eat or she'll never keep her strength up.
Yeah, poor Jude. I know just how she feels, but I never feel like eating either when I'm down in the dumps.
Maybe I should talk to her.
You'll do nothing of the sort, young lady. If Judy wants to be left alone, that's exactly what we'll do.
Hey, buggers, wait till I tell you what's going on. You'll never believe it.
Yeah, what?
I've just been talking to Mr. Bridges and I reckon he knows all about Mary's escape.
No.
It's true, I tell you.
Oh, but if he knows, surely he would have told Mrs. Reynolds and the others. After all, he is a screw, Lizzie. No, it doesn't make sense.
I never said it did. All I know is he knows something that we don't, and he's keeping quiet.
Well, that's all.
Anyhow, I don't think he'll be any problem to our meeting. I reckon he's taken a shine to us and he'll close a blind eye to anything.
Perhaps. Better we can't say the same for those two.
Oh, geez, I mean, you're not letting them two come to the meeting, are you?
Are you gonna stop him, Casa?
That will be Pixie's job.
Me? Oh, no, Minnie, no. I want to come to the meeting because Miss Ferguson has never liked me since the day she found me sleeping in the cupboard.
I want you to keep those two busy for a while.
How?
They've got dope. I'll give you the money.
Oh, no, Minnie, no, I couldn't.
You don't have to smoke it, for heaven's sake. Just let them think you're interested in buying some. Where there's money involved, they won't turn you away.
But I'll miss out on all the fun.
You're the one who'll be having fun, just like a real spy.
Spy? Oh, you mean espionage?
Yeah. You can do that, too, if you've got time.
Oh, gee, sounds real dangerous.
Pixie can handle it. She'd have made a brilliant secret agent.
Oh, me. Mata Hari. Oh, if only I had something else to wear. And I've got plenty of money. See?
Let's get this straight. You want some joints?
Yes, thank you.
Who for?
Well, for myself, of course.
I don't believe this.
How many do you want?
Packet of 20, thank you.
All right, Mason, who put you up to it?
Well, nobody. I can think for myself, you know.
Of course you can. Have you ever rolled a joint?
No, but, well, I'd like to try. I've heard that it makes you feel wonderful, and, oh, well, I haven't felt wonderful for ages, so I thought that if I have a cigarette, well, it will pick me up like a tonic, you know?
Yes, I know, Pixie. All right, but you better learn what you're supposed to do with it. I mean, we can't waste good quality grass.
Yes, well, I'll just take it now.
Well, look, what's the hurry? There's an art to this. May as well learn how to do it properly. Your turn. This one's on the house.
And if we say yes, we get bashed up anyhow. We can't win.
All right. Now, all those who believe that the freak has gone too far and must be dealt with. See? I told you. All right. Now we've got to decide how to do it.
What's to decide? Let's kill the bitch.
Oh, Phyllis, for heaven's sake.
Well, I reckon she's right. There's only one way to fix the freak good and proper, and that's to do her in.
Right. We've wasted enough time.
Kill her!
Kill her! Kill her! Kill her! Kill her! Kill her! Be quiet. We'll have the screws coming in all directions. Now, we've got to approach this sensibly. We're not all murderers.
Speak for yourself.
It wouldn't be murder anyway, it'd be bloody justice.
Right. Long overdue.
Kill her.
Kill her! Kill her! Kill her! Kill her!
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! We're not having this meeting just so you can behave like a lot of thugs. There will be no killings, is that clear?
Yellow belly.
Oh. So what do you think would happen to us if we execute Ferguson?
We'd be free of the freak, that's what.
Oh, yes, very clever. We execute Ferguson and we get 10 more just like her to take her place. Well, there'd be no more meetings like this, no privacy, no buy-ups. We'd be locked in ourselves and we'd be a lot worse off than we are now.
I reckon she's right. God, I've seen screws that have come down on us like a ton of bricks and made our lives a living hell.
Yeah. You take it from me. Killing a screw, well, it don't make you feel any better.
So we just let her off the hook.
No, of course not. We'll deal with her. I may have failed once, but it won't happen again. And when we do get rid of her, we'll be really free. So no more talk of killing. Is that understood? Understood?
Yeah. Okay.
Good. I'll go now and work out a plan to deal with her.
Crack. Okay, maybe Minnie will get rid of the freak and maybe she won't. All I'm saying is if we kill Fergo, there's got to be no maybes about it.
I'm with you. Back time we had some real action around here.
Minnie's got more sense than you have, friend. Besides, she's top dog, and what the top dog says goes.
Yeah, well, B was top dog. A real top dog, and if there was something to be done, she didn't muck around with it. What do you reckon she'd say if she was here now?
Well, I reckon B'd say kill her. She said Fergo was poison. I don't think she would think twice about it.
Right. So we owe the freak one from B, right?
Right. We owe her more than one. I reckon B'll be glad when she hears it.
Anybody else?
I'll go on. Just give me a chance to get at her.
When are we going to do it, Phil?
Right now. There's no sense wasting time, and I know just the way to do it too. All of those that aren't interested just piss off and shut up about it.
Lum dum da dum, la da da dum, lum dum da dum, la da dum, la da 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 da. Oh, Mr. Richards, fancy seeing you here.
Something funny, Mason?
Oh, Pixie, please, and nothing's funny. Well, everything is just perfect, don't you think so?
Yes, perfect. Well, I better get going.
Oh, no, don't go. Oh, it's such a lovely night. I bet the moon is as big as a saucepan. Saucer.
Are you sure you're all right?
Of course, I'm absolutely lovely. Are you married?
Pixie?
I'm sorry, Mr. Bridges. I didn't mean anything. It's just that, well, I get lonely for people to talk to. Would you like to see my wedding photos?
All right, just a quick look. But you don't want me in trouble my first week, do you?
Of course not. Well, it's lucky you met me now because, well, in 10 years' time, I might have twice as many to look at.
He's coming.
And this one's Jimmy. It was my favourite wedding. I don't know why it's making me feel so sick.
Pixie, what have you been taking?
Well, just the teensiest, weensiest bit of grass, Mr. Bridges. I don't know how cows can eat it all day. I don't feel well at all.
I can imagine.
Oh, you won't tell Mrs. Reynolds, will you? Because, well, they'll keep you in here forever if you do.
No, Pixie, I won't tell the governor. I want to help you get out of here, not spoil your chances.
Sick.
Oh, Lord. Come on, take that. You all right?
It's obvious the department won't believe us.
No, Min.
We'll have to set it up so that she condemns herself.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, nose is
Oh,
bleeding.
no kidding.
What have you been up to now, honestly, girl?
Don't go laying down the law to me, you old bat, because I'm not listening. None of us are now, because you talk crap.
What are you talking about? What's going on, Bobby?
You didn't have the guts to finish Ferguson, so we're doing it for you.
Where are they now? What's happening?
You're too late. It's all over by now.
Oh, my God.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.